What is going on, everybody? We're back with some more Marvel Snap, and today I want to show off another Pool 1 deck. This is a Pool 1 ongoing deck. So the main thing is to play out your ongoing cards and play Spectrum as a payoff. You have Khazar when you don't really have that many 1-drops. I think you could potentially do something like cut, Mr. Fantastic and just run some good 1-drops. Like, just run a Yondu or run an Iceman or something like that. I think that is perfectly fair, or even running like Nightcrawler if you want to. I think that is perfectly fair to do, and maybe something you want to do anyway. But I wanted to go just all in on the ongoing. Just wanted to give some options that you could potentially, rotate out for. When you do get to Pool 3, Quinjet's one of the best cards you can get as well, so you have another 1-drop that is ongoing. As well with Ebony Maw fits into this deck greatly as well. But just, it's something really good to play with the current Bar Sinister location. Either Blue Marvel or Spectrum are kind of your main targets for Bar Sinister. And then you're going to want to have all of these cards out in the other locations to get buffed from Spectrum at the end of the game. So that's really the long and short of it. Let's hop on into some games and see how we can do. Okay, Elvis. We do start with our 1-drop. And we have Bar Sinister as well. So we obviously do not want to contest Bar Sinister, or not. We don't want to play anything into Bar Sinister right now. The way we run our deck, we are very susceptible to things like Green Goblin. And our opponent's going for a snap right away. I'm going to play it out. If I lose 2 cubes, I lose 2 cubes. I don't really care. But we are susceptible to some of the... That's interesting. Especially if they're like a Khazar deck. Let's just keep playing out our stuff. I think the ideal situation would be like Mr. Fantastic here, eventually Blue Marvel here, and then play 1 or 2 other cards here, and then Spectrum on Bar Sinister. If possible, this definitely has to be a Khazar deck, by the way. So I'm just going to keep playing into Onslaught Citadel. They had the Goblin, and they chose not to Super Bar Sinister us. Oh, now they can't play this here, which is great for us. Or they can't move any of those here, I should say. Let's just go for Cosmo. That would not have activated anyway. Do I go for 4 Blue Marvel here? Or do I go for Blue Marvel here and then play Iron Man over here? I think that's the play. Oh, they're gonna go for Magic. Okay. So we actually have another opportunity then to try and fish for our Spectrum. Which I think I will do. We have 3 cards left, so we have a 1 and 3 of pulling it off. Doing exactly what we wanted to do game 1. Alright, so they can not move any Nightcrawlers here. They can move 1 here, so we could have up to 2 more Nightcrawlers here if that's what they want. Although they could just kill off their Nightcrawlers if they want to make room for Khazar, but it just kind of winds up being a unfortunate end scenario for what they might have been trying to set up. They're going to draw an extra card. We do get the Spectrum. I'll snap. Yeah, I didn't think they were sticking around, but yeah, that would have been 22 power in this lane and then plus 8 to each one of these guys. So it would have been 8, 16, 24, 32. So we would have had 47 and 46. I think that would have been pretty tough to beat. Let's go ahead and get another one, but that went about as perfect as I could have asked for. That is exactly what we wanted from this location and this deck. And our hand is a little chunkier this time. I actually think Miniaturized Lab is a great spot to hide a lizard. It makes it far less likely that your opponent can play 4 cards there. They obviously still have opportunities. They can do things like play Ultron, or just play a bunch of 1-drops on turn 6. But if your opponent doesn't play into Miniaturized Lab on turn 1 or 2, it becomes very difficult for them to counter you. Since we have Nexus, we're going to really try and build up an Iron Man here as well. We're also going to just kind of try and curve out a bit. We can be worried if they have like Iron Man Onslaught, because I'm not running Onslaught in our list, but we'll see. They definitely look like an on-reveal deck as well, though. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Warpath? Okay, that's interesting. They do have the Iron Man as well, which is very unfortunate.
I am Iron Man.
Let's see what the numbers look like here. We go Spectrum, we get 2, 4, 6. It's plus 11. Oh, actually, this could be a Destroyer deck, which would put them at... Oh, no. But would Destroyer run Iron Man? I guess potentially. But Destroyer would be another 32. That would be a loss. I don't think we can win this one, but I'm willing to see it play out. I'm fairly certain this is a loss, but we'll play it out. Yeah, it is a Destroyer deck with Iron Man. It's not unheard of. It's just not common. Yeah, they just had the higher power card, which is fair. I was willing to lose that one just to see if they were a Destroyer deck. I don't see Iron Man and Destroyer very often at all. I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I saw it. Obviously, sometimes people are just going to tech in cards or move them back and forth. So it's on you to decide, like, am I willing to bet the cubes to see if they are doing that? Because it's pretty obvious, like, their best play there and just their destroy synergy cards was Destroyer. But like I said, it's not something I see often enough to really not respect it, but in the terms of, like, I disrespect my opponent, but, like, respect it in terms of I don't see it often, so I'm not going to think it's a super high likelihood. Project Pegasus, okay. We get Blue Marble and Punisher out. A -1 Green Goblin, okay. And a Hobgoblin, wow. I just got double goblined.
Wind, aid my hand.
Okay.
Avengers! Assemble.
Do I just go Iron Man? I think Iron Man's my best play. Because even if they Juggernaut me and bump that out of there. They'll have 7, we'll still have 5, and we can Spectrum to bump this up to 9. So they'd have to Juggernaut plus something else.
I am Iron Man.
Oh, it's 3, okay. Alright, so Spectrum's our play every single time here. What can they do? We're gonna get plus 8 here, so it's gonna go up to 20. We're gonna get plus 6 here. It's gonna go up to 19, which means this would only really get beat by like Destroyer or Enchantress. I think this is a snappable endgame. But for the sake of the video, we're not going to snap, and we're just going to see what happens if our opponent plays it out. A snap might spook them. I also don't know what their endgame is. Angela and Iceman. That was nothing. They had nothing. So yeah, I think high likelihood if I snapped there, they were going to retreat. So sometimes, even if you're fairly confident you're going to win, the best move is to just play it out for 2 cubes instead of scaring them off and only getting 1. If that makes sense. There's so many layers to snapping, and I'm not even the best at it. I would say I'm not great at snapping. But it's something to keep in mind. But I like the ongoing decks because there's enough fun combos where the deck is interesting to play. But also if you're a newer player or, you know, just in general, I think the play patterns are, I don't want to say straightforward, but the play patterns are predictable enough where I think you can get good at this deck fairly quickly. That's going to be tough to beat when we're playing against a Patriot deck here. I actually don't even think we can beat a Patriot deck. We have potential if we do something like Khazar, Iron Man, Spectrum. Okay, so we're not going to be able to go Khazar next turn. Or we're not going to be able to go Iron Man next turn. So then what does our play become? We could try and save Khazar for turn 5, since it'd be our highest point total, and then go down to one of these guys. I don't think there's any world where we play 2 cards next turn. Shang-Chi. Do I go for Cap or Khazar? And do I really want to keep splitting up my power, or do I want to stack Wakandan Embassy? Let's stack. I was gonna play Cosmo on the right, but if this is a Patriot deck, I don't know what deck this is anymore. I have no idea what's going on. Alright, if I go Spectrum, I get +2, +4, +6, +8. And it's spread against all the lanes, though. And I can't buff this middle lane, which is the one that is most at risk. If I just do this, I get +11. Yeah, I think I'll do that.
I am Iron Man.
Perfect. Just enough. The Misty Knight threw me off because I was expecting a Patriot deck, and then we got none of the Patriot follow-ups. But we were still able to snag mostly wins there. So I'm going to call that a good shot, a good path, a good episode. Let me know if there's any other decks you guys want to see me play soon. I think I've got another Pool 1 deck upcoming. It's going to be Pool 1 Zoo, which is kind of similar to the deck we just played, but far more focused on 1-drops. But let me know if there's any other kinds of Pool 1s or maybe some early Pool 2 decks you guys want to see. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.